Hey everyone, happy Halloween and welcome to this episode of Throne Talk. Today, I'll help you guys understand a little bit about what Bran's Greensight powers are all about, and then I'll give you a rundown of my personal list of flashbacks that I'd like to see make it onto the show. Okay, so here's a quick rundown about the Greensight, the gift that enables Bran to have visions of the past, and maybe even the future. We've seen two Greensight visions on the show so far. The first was Jojen's vision, in which he saw the cave of the three-eyed raven, and also saw his hand on fire, foreshadowing his eventual death. The second vision was when Bran touched his hand to the weirwood tree, and saw a dragon flying over King's Landing, and the throne room abandoned and full of snow. The main idea of the sight is that it induces prophetic visions like the ones Melisandre sees in the flames, which are vague and open to the interpretation of the seer. Jojen's death wasn't specifically shown in his vision, but he was later killed by fire. Also, those who are both green seers and wargs have the ability to enter into any weirwood tree in Westeros and see through the eyes of the tree back to any event in time that has taken place near the tree. So in summary, the Greensight gives users prophetic visions, and when combined with warging, allows the user to travel back in time through the eyes of a weirwood tree, and, in the books, possibly even other types of trees. With multiple flashbacks officially confirmed for Season 5, Bran's Greensight talents seem like the best way to bring them onto the show. With that cleared up, now I'm going to get into my personal list of flashbacks that I'd like to see on the show, starting with Number 5, a Ned Stark flashback. The actor who plays Bran revealed that there were some scenes that Sean Bean shot during the filming for Season 1 that never were used on the show up to this point. We have no idea what these scenes entail, but if I were to guess, it was probably shot at the Winterfell or the Godswood set. Ned Stark is one of the most beloved characters of the entire series, and we know the directors dig giving more scenes to fan-favorite characters, so I think out of any other flashback, seeing Ned is probably the most likely to happen. While I think seeing Sean Bean in these unaired scenes is very possible, it's also possible that a younger version of Ned featuring a different actor could be used, possibly depicting the tourney of Harrenhal or Robert's Rebellion. Number 4, the Grey King. This is a little bit out there and like 99% not going to happen, but it's still 100% awesome. So the Grey King was the first king of the Iron Islands, and the Greyjoys claimed to descend from him. Basically, he teamed up with the drowned god himself and defeated a giant sea dragon named Naga, and then proceeded to wear the dragon's teeth as his crown and built his castle around its skeleton. Pretty badass. And did I also mention that he married a mermaid and lived for 1,000 years? The ribs of the sea dragon still stand on a cliff overlooking the Iron Coast in an area known as Naga's Hill, and it is here that new kings amongst the Ironborn are elected. Basically, I just really want to see some dude fighting a giant sea dragon. Number 3, Syrio Forel versus Meryn Trant. What really happened? Seeing this play out on screen would probably be the ultimate fan service possible, settling all of the debates and all of the theories, and finally letting everyone know what exactly went down in this fight. The idea of seeing this flashback was actually suggested by Ross Mullen, who plays many of the White Walkers on the show. However, the actor who plays Syrio says he doesn't know if he'll ever be back on the show, though he would be interested in returning. Back in Season 1, the screen cut to black just after seeing Syrio Forel, the first Sword of Braavos, take out 4 Lannister soldiers at once with a wooden sword, and then come face to face with Meryn Trant, who had armor and a big fucking sword. Who knows what happened next, but there were 4 knocked out Lannister soldiers on the ground, which means there were 4 swords up for grabs, and I have no doubt that Syrio is much faster and more skilled than Meryn, so who's to say Syrio didn't knock him out, giving the Braavosi the opportunity to escape. Number 2, Robert Baratheon versus Rhaegar Targaryen at the Battle of the Trident. During the decisive battle of Robert's Rebellion, the commanders of the two sides, Robert Baratheon and Prince Rhaegar Targaryen, met in a single combat for the ages. both on their massive war horses and in a stream at the center of the field, Robert wearing his antlered helm and wielding his giant warhammer, and Rhaegar in his black plate armor featuring the three-headed dragon adorned in rubies, encircled each other several times, exchanging blows. Though Robert was wounded badly by Rhaegar during the fight, the prince was eventually struck dead by a single massive strike of the warhammer that crushed in his armors and sent rubies flying into the river. Back in Season 1, we got a very small glimpse of Robert's warhammer and armor, which was pretty amazing. But I think the armor described in the books is one of the most cool aspects about A Song of Ice and Fire. So I'd really like to see this battle not only for this awesome fight, but for the amazing costume work that can be done here. Plus, we haven't seen a battle as large as this one take place on the show yet, so it would be cool to see thousands fighting off screen as these two giants swung at each other in the middle of it all. Number 1, the showdown at the Tower of Joy. The most controversial issue in all of A Song of Ice and Fire is what exactly went down at the Tower of Joy. At the end of Robert's rebellion, after the Mad King had been slayed by Jaime and Robert had killed Prince Rhaegar, Ned Stark traveled to the Tower of Joy to rescue his sister Lyanna, whose kidnapping at the hands of Rhaegar had been the spark of the rebellion. When Ned and his 6 companions, including Howland Reed, the father of Jojen and Mira, arrived at the tower, they discovered 3 members of Aerys's Kingsguard guarding the entrance. Led by Sir Arthur Dayne, who was regarded by some as the most skilled knight at that time, the 3 members of the Kingsguard engaged Ned and his companions in an epic battle. All we know for sure about what happened next is that only Ned and Howland survived the fight, and that Ned was later credited with having defeated Sir Arthur. When Stark and Reed entered the tower, they found Lyanna in a pool of blood, and with her dying words, she asked Ned to make her a promise. This one sequence has spawned most of the well-known fan theories, mainly R+L=J, but also some of the crazier theories like the Howland Reed super warg theory, stating that Howland was once a powerful warg, and that he saved Ned's life by warging into the body of Sir Arthur and allowing Ned to strike him down. But the trauma from this blow caused Howland to become trapped in Dayne's body for the rest of his life. Whether for this awesome sword fight, the implications it may hold towards R+L=J, or just to see Ned and Howland in their prime, this flashback is the one that I'd completely lose my mind over if it comes onto the show. Well, that will do it for this Halloween episode of Throne Talk. Let me know in the comments section what flashbacks you guys want to see on the show. And as always, leave suggestions for what you'd like to see in future videos, and hit subscribe for more Throne Talk.